Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into human anatomy from a totally different angle. We're looking at the story of an absolute unsung hero speaking directly to you, your very own foot. Just listen to this powerful realization from the source material. It's essentially crying out, I am a surprising miracle of nature in your body. Without me, life is confined to a bed or a wheelchair. I mean, think about it. You've probably walked thousands of miles in your life, right? But until disease or paralysis strikes, we literally have no idea of its true value. We take it completely for granted, totally forgetting that without it, our mobility just vanishes. Moving right along to Section 1, a magnificent engineering masterpiece. You know, experts really don't view the foot as just some basic appendage. They see a highly complex machine, keeping you from collapsing like an empty sack. Just imagine you're standing there, staring blankly out a window, completely relaxed. You feel like you're doing absolutely nothing. But down below, your feet are constantly making these mysterious, tiny micro-adjustments just to keep you upright. If they stopped working for even a split second, you'd instantly hit the floor. So to make this effortless standing even possible, the foot relies on a staggering anatomical system. And it all starts with a foundation of 26 individual bones. That is a massive concentration of skeletal architecture packed into such a tiny, tiny area.
But of course, bones can't just stand on their own. Those 26 bones are held together by 107 ligaments. Think of them as a highly complex, durable web of bands and membranes securing the whole shebang, making sure it's incredibly strong but also remarkably flexible.
And the engine driving all of this? Well, that would be 19 different muscles. These muscles are locked in this constant, mysterious action and reaction. Pulling, relaxing, stabilizing, literally every single second you're on your feet. Now really think about the physics here. You're balancing a human body, let's say 150 pounds, maybe up to 6.5 feet tall, on a foundation that's only about 7 to 8 inches long. Try standing a tall, top-heavy object on a tiny base like that. It's practically impossible. It's an absolute miracle of engineering that we stay perfectly balanced on such a small footprint without tipping over. That brings us to Section 2, connection with the supercomputer. Maintaining that balance requires a lightning-fast, continuous connection with your body's ultimate supercomputer, the brain. Sensors right there in your heel act like high-tech sensors, constantly firing telemetry signals up to the brain about weight shifts and body angles. If you lean even a millimeter, boom, the brain gets the memo, and it instantly fires back specific commands telling the foot to contract or relax those 19 muscles we just talked about. It's a flawless, real-time feedback loop. Now, this next part from the source material absolutely blew my mind. Just to generate the energy for you to stand, this wild chain reaction kicks off. The foot signals the brain's sensory system, which alerts the master gland. That gland shoots a hormone into the blood, hitting your thyroid. The thyroid then releases another hormone that reaches 60 trillion cells within a fraction of a second, firing up 1,000 energy houses inside each and every cell. And all of this happens in 1,000th of a second, just to give your feet the energy to keep you standing. Crazy, right? Next up, Section 3, the science of taking a step. So once we've mastered standing, we realize that a single step is a total masterclass in kinetic energy transfer. It starts with the heel pushing forward. That energy transfers perfectly through 5 specific sole bones, travels all the way to the toes, and is ultimately driven forward by the big toe. And the very moment that happens, the opposite foot is instantly signaled to follow. All of this coordinated movement happens while making sure your 150 to 200-pound frame doesn't come crashing down. But wait, here's a totally surprising partner in all this. While our feet are doing the heavy lifting down below, they're actually relying on a completely different part of the body, the cochlea. It's a tiny, specialized bone located all the way up in your ear, and it's deeply responsible for overseeing the delicate balance of this entire system as you move. It really is a full-body operation. Which leads us to Section 4, the unseen hard work of feet. Despite this flawless biological coordination, the source highlights a pretty relatable irony. Just think about how we treat our cars. We obsessively check our car tires, right? We check the tread, measure the air pressure, rotate them, yet we completely disregard our own feet. We subject them to constant agony, cramming them into uncomfortable shoes, and only get annoyed when they finally start to ache. We literally treat replaceable rubber better than our own biological foundation.
To really put that punishment into perspective, when you walk on hard pavement at just an average pace, you aren't just stepping gently. You are essentially slamming your foot into the concrete with 150 pounds of force, 50 times every single minute. Imagine taking a 150-pound hammer and whacking the ground 50 times a minute. That's the exact shockwave your feet are absorbing for you.
And man, it adds up. Over an average lifetime in a developed country, you're going to force your feet to walk roughly 65,000 miles. That is more than 2.5 times around the entire Earth. And as the source notes, for the working poor or anyone who relies on walking for their livelihood, that number is significantly higher. Speaking of hard work, if you happen to be a laborer carrying extra weight, lifting bricks, hauling supplies, doing heavy manual labor, the crushing pressure your feet endure is a completely different, honestly horrifying story. The physics of that multiplied weight, compounding with every single step, it's just an unimaginable feat of endurance. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a thought. How many millions of physical shocks have your feet silently absorbed for you just today, simply to keep you moving through your life? Knowing all of this, what are you going to do to finally appreciate them? It's a profound thought that I hope changes the way you look at your own 2 feet. Thanks so much for joining me as we unpacked this incredible source material. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next one.